It's your boy Concert Viz 34, and I wasn't actually expecting to record today, but I just got news on today, May 27, 2017, that a legend in the blues rock and southern rock and just in general in the music industry, Gregg Allman, passed away. So I thought I'd make a video on my perspective of his passing. As you see behind me, if you can, I don't know how good it'll look on the final product, but that is a poster that I have in my living room. One of three posters that I own, period. Don't have many posters and art in my little apartment, but that is a poster from the 2014 final Beacon Theater run of the Allman Brothers Band. And I got that on the first show of that last run in October. Originally supposed to be in the spring, but got rescheduled to the October dates in 2014. And that was my first and last experience seeing the Allman Brothers Band live. I didn't grow up in a household that my relatives listened to the Allman Brothers Band. And that's why I only was able to find a respect and admiration for the band in the mid to late 2000s, and then finally got to see him in 2014. But the thing about, even though I never grew up as a kid listening to them, what connected me to them is Dwayne and his brother Greg, who just passed. The way they played reminds me so much of growing up in a Baptist church in Connecticut. And they have a feeling of that gospel Southern Baptist type sound in certain songs. And that's what attracted me to this band. It's so unique, it's so authentic. They don't have a bunch of backup singers and dancers. It's just the members of the band, depending on the era, as they've had different swaps. And Dwayne Allman, Greg's older brother, passed away in a tragic motorcycle accident in 1971. But I've had a couple hours to think about this since I heard the news, and it's very unfortunate, but there's not much that I can express as far as on a video. I'm almost speechless, but there's just so many memories that flood through my mind of, even in the short time I've listened to the Allman Brothers Band, of all the times I've heard different live albums like Fillmore East and Peeking at the Beacon, and even the show I went to. I waited 45 minutes in line just to get a live copy of the album from the soundboard at the Beacon Theater. It was worth the entire wait. It was worth getting home at 3 in the morning from New York City. Actually, it was like 3:30 in the morning, and still going to work the next day. You have to listen to the band for yourself to really understand what they're about. They're not for everyone. Not everyone can appreciate fully the sound of the Allman Brothers Band, but what they do, man, it's just to hear it live in one iteration of the band, and then to hear live recordings from years and years and years ago. It's just, it makes you speechless. But the cool thing about Gregg Allman and the Allman Brothers Band is they just capture such a humble vibe. They're very talented. I mean, Dwayne Allman and Gregg Allman and Dickie Betts, and now they've added people, or they did add people before they ended in 2014, as far as Warren Haynes and Oteil Burbridge, and then there's Derek Trucks. The people that have filled in to be a part of this band, and Butch Trucks, who passed away, and Jamoy, as far as the other drummer, these people all are so humble. There's not a very flashy arena rock, look at me type vibe. All these people that have become parts of the Allman Brothers Band at different phases of the band, with Greg really being the anchor for different people flowing in and out, and he being kind of the person that really sets the direction of the band. They all are so humble, but they're so talented, and everything they play is so authentic, and just the subtle vibes and sounds and tones of hearing any era of the Allman Brothers Band is why I listen to music. And a lot of people kind of question, why do you go and say RIP and then put Facebook statuses and make videos like this after someone passes away? I made one the other week with Chris Cornell, and really, if you don't listen to music, if you don't go to concerts, if you're not driving in a car and you've had a tough part of your life, or someone you know has passed away, or you cut ties with a friend and you listen to music for years and years and years and years, and you really are passionate about music, you'll never understand what it's like to hear that someone that you listened to for all these times, for all these memories, passed away. And that's where the emotional part of it really kicks in. And even with Chris Cornell, like I said in the previous video a couple weeks ago, it's just, it hits you hard. There's certain artists that are much more famous, much more talented than Chris Cornell or Gregg Allman that I heard pass, and I was sad about it. But the connections to Gregg Allman and his music and his solo songs, like Just Another Rider, that he did play at that show I went to in 2014, it's just, it cuts you deep. And I know now it's, right now, I'm at different points, because when I first heard about it, I was really sad. Right now, I'm kind of a little more relaxed, but I know, just like with Chris, a couple days from now, even a week from now, I'm just going to be really bummed out about the passing. But it really puts in perspective why I do this page, why I do what I do, which is I don't take vacations. Sometimes I have business trips with my job, but the only thing that I spend my money on is going to live sporting events and going to live concerts, mostly of legends that may pass away soon or that I want to catch before they never play again. That includes many of the acts you've seen on my page: Stevie Wonder, I've seen Billy Joel, I've seen B.B. King, Buddy Guy, and the Allman Brothers. And when you hear about someone passing away like this, or with Chris Cornell, same thing, it really reminds me of why I go to these shows, why I'm passionate about going to music events live, and why I haven't sat on an island since my parents paid for vacations back way, this was over like 10 years ago, when I was still in early college, and they, parents, hey, you want to go on vacation? I'll pay for it. Like, I don't go on vacation. I don't want to sit on an island. I spend all the excess money that I have, with reason. Again, I always budget it out, things like that, to go see live acts. And there's nothing, you can't explain it to someone if they're not as passionate about music, whether it's hip hop, whether it's rock, whether it's blues, whether it's soul, or it's a mix of everything, kind of like how you see on my page. There's no way for me to explain in a video, being able to remember those memories of Gregg Allman and the Allman Brothers Band, and just the moments you have, the times you're on the subway waiting, anticipating the show, you go out to a dive bar, you go out to eat before the show, you meet other fans, and then you talk to people in your seats, and then you're driving home, it's 3 in the morning, you've been driving all day just to get to the show, you go to the show and you're driving again, and it's just the exhaustion and fatigue, and the feeling of going to back-to-back nights of an artist. You see them for 4 different sets and for hours and hours. This is why I do this page, and whether it's 5 or 6 people that watch this and can connect to it, or whether it's, in the future more people than that, I'm still cool with just 5 or 6 people watching. I appreciate the subscribers. But this is why I do this, because for me, music is a very big part of my life, and interacting with other fans, hearing live shows, hearing bands like the Allman Brothers Band, that they don't play the same set every night, and you can hear a song 15 times and there's no backing track of like the beat, or there's no like guy just sitting there pressing play. Like, these are live instruments, this is live musicianship, and the power of this music can literally break barriers as far as race, as far as with the blues, the whole generation of black blues artists that were respected by those of other races and of the same race, and how people started to respect African Americans because of these musicians. Obviously, things are never perfect, but it just listening to something like the Allman Brothers Band, to connect with this band that's from the completely opposite part of the country as far as the South. I'm from the Connecticut, and to connect to their music like I live next door to them my whole life is why I do this page. So that's pretty much it. Definitely, if you have any memories of the Allman Brothers Band, or Greg, or even Butch, who unfortunately passed away by suicide, definitely share them. But while you can, I know concerts are very expensive, and I deal with that issue myself on a yearly basis, but If you can find money and you want to see someone who's a legend or just see someone who's up and coming, go, because you never know when they may pass away. You may never have another opportunity to see that band again, and you can't put a price on, like the poster behind me. There's no price you can put on it, and even if that poster disappears, you can't put a price on the memories that you get at some of these shows. Thank you guys for checking out the video. And that's pretty much it. I'll be coming with more content soon. And rest in peace to Gregg Allman, who was 69 years old and passed away today, May 27th, 2017.